My name's Dr. Manrina Rhode and I am the Aesthetic Dentistry Expert for dentistry.co.uk. And today we're going to talk about staining. So let's talk about the staining that our patients have in their mouths and why it might be there in the first place. Typically, stains will come from black coffee, smoking, tea, coloured foods, smoking cigarettes, smoking cigars. It normally denotes some sort of staining habit that causes these stains on our patients' teeth. And so whenever we see a stain, I think we want to take the time to kind of look and try and understand why it might be there. There's definitely some foods and habits that stain more than others, and I'm always surprised by how staining tea is. Tea has a lot of health benefits and contains fluoride, so it's actually quite good for the teeth. But equally is really quite staining. Tea drinkers who typically can be quite healthy people can have quite a lot of stain on their teeth, and that can be from regular tea with milk and also herbal teas, which people don't realise how staining green tea and chamomile tea are, but really do cause significant amounts of stain in the mouth. And so what do we do about that? What do we do about these stains that our patients have? Firstly, brushing twice a day with an electric toothbrush, with a really good electric toothbrush, will go some way in controlling that stain, but depending how much the habit is there, whether it's smoking, whether it's tea. I mean, black coffee, I would say, causes stain, but in my experience, not as much as tea, actually. I've got clients, and even myself, who drink black coffee every day, but don't really have huge amounts of stain in their mouth. But tea drinkers really tend to have a fair bit. So brushing twice a day with an electric toothbrush and cleaning interproximally between the teeth with floss or similar will help to keep the stains at bay, but often is not enough. Regular visits to see your hygienist, whether that's 3 monthly or 6 monthly, depending what she's recommended for you. Oh, red wine, I didn't mention red wine. Red wine is a massive stainer. So yeah, that definitely you can tell a red wine drinker. So all the hygiene protocols, which are important anyway for all of us, brushing twice a day with an electric brush, interproximal cleaning, regular hygiene habits, hygiene visits, will really help to keep the stains at bay. But yeah, they're not always enough. And then so one step up from that is obviously tooth whitening, and with tooth whitening, there's home whitening and there's in-surgery whitening, but for patients with stain, I would definitely encourage them to have home whitening trays, and they can pop those in maybe once every 3 months or at intervals as needed, to help keep their stains at bay. And then even with the hygiene visits, often hygienists will have airflow or similar type of cleaning protocols available that maybe, depending again on the habits and how quickly that stain is collecting, even if you're not due your hygiene visit, they could pop in just for a quick sandblast off that stain and get that off. And then if we look at restorations, I'm obviously the queen of porcelain veneers, and with my patients, one of their favourite things about having their veneers is the fact that they don't stain. Porcelain is like a porcelain plate. It just wipes clean, and if you go to a party and everyone's drinking red wine, then with your beautiful veneers, you'll be the only one at the party whose teeth haven't gone that kind of blacky red colour that teeth go with red wine. So yeah, veneers, there's really no issue with staining. Although if you do then want your patients to be seeing a hygienist who's familiar with how to clean veneers, because one of the reasons why they're so good at not staining is the glaze that they have over them, the very smooth glaze that you wouldn't want your hygienist to then remove by using the wrong scalers or using the wrong airflow kit. You need specific types of powder that work very well with porcelain. And then on the other end of the spectrum, of course, is composite bonding, which stains very easily. Composite is made up of small spheres, and as much as we as dentists love to sit and manually polish this composite and get it smooth and shiny and work through all our discs to get a really high luster finish, there's spheres that will wear away, and they will wear away at varying rates, and composite will end up staining, even for people that maybe don't have a very stained diet. it. A particularly problem area with composite is black triangles, and when clinicians do this beautiful work with this interproximal bonding to close black triangles, and then interproximally that's an area that gathers stain typically anyway, and then you put composite there, and then really that can end up looking worse than the black triangle looked in the first place. So they're all things that we need to think about. So yeah, staining's a part of life. I don't think we need to stop having the things that make your teeth stain unless it's smoking that's making them stain, then stop smoking. But if it's the odd glass of red wine or tea, which is quite good for you, and definitely black coffee is very good for you, then good for the soul, probably more than anything else, then it just needs to be controlled, because yeah, smiling at someone with a stained smile is not doing anyone any favours.